All right.
Yeah!
Well, hello, everybody. Pop open those pill bottles. It's time to take your daily dose.
Today we are joined by the amazing Bekah. This morning. It's still morning? Afternoon?
It's 11:27.
Okay.
Morning.
Morning. Because it's before noon.
Correct.
So today we're going to carve some pumpkins.
Taja has never carved pumpkins before.
I haven't. Which is kind of a lie, but also not. Because Langston mentioned that there was like some event at 6 and Vine that he invited me to. He's like, we carved a pumpkin. I was like, I watched.
Gotcha.
I didn't physically carve one. Yeah. I just watching everyone do it. So.
Well,
it's time.
It was revealed last time on our podcast that Taja has not carved a pumpkin. And then I was like, well, we should ask Bekah to do it with us because you like plants and farming and
I do. And I like arts and design.
Exactly. I was like, this is the perfect person.
But yeah, you did pick someone who's a little bit like OCD, so
it's gonna be
It's alright.
the perfect design and make it
You look
it's my Virgo self, just like it doesn't look just right. But.
So we can do the danger.
So bear with
first.
me.
Oh.
Maybe pass out the knives.
Yes.
Do you want this?
Thank
Do
you.
you want big or small?
Big.
Okay. Is this my choice? Because
all of this being said, today is probably a good day to be watching the podcast, not listening to it. So check out our YouTube channel if you are curious. Oh my goodness, Bekah.
I'm starting.
Get in there.
Yeah, I'm
I
getting
feel like I'm starting. I'm doing it.
I think this is what you brought the knives for, right?
Yes,
Not
for the stabbing.
Yeah.
For the
So
stabbing.
you kind of do it in like a star shape.
Oh.
Star.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of like, it's like jagged. I guess you could do circle, but
pumpkin is
I've always
juicy.
done like a jagged
Oh my god.
opening top.
Tasha,
This
you're
is hard
in.
to do seated.
You can stand.
See, that's why.
Yeah. You can stand, yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I think I'm okay with the.
I think I just gotta get a
The-
little bit closer. Center of body.
All right. So
to
make sure I
the
don't
pumpkin.
stab myself or anybody, but we can segue into
I was gonna say, for the sake of of the viewing and the listening, do you just want to? I mean, would you like to give a short introduction into who you are,
Yeah.
really quick?
Ooh.
Yeah,
I'm
my
really
name is Bekah Downing, and I am a local artist here in Winston-Salem, choreographer and dancer and dance teacher. I guess not in that order. It's more like it feels more like just dance artist. Lots of teaching, choreographing, and I'm not dancing as much as I used to. Here recently, I'm just kind of more interested on the choreographic side.
Nice.
The
Okay.
directing side, the making side of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm from Charlotte.
Oh, nice.
Been dancing forever there, started there, and moved to Winston-Salem when I was 13, turning 14, like the month before I turned 14. So I've been here for a while.
Okay.
Went to school, and then left to continue school, came back, and I've been here. Yeah. Also have been a part-time farmer.
Nice.
This is like another hat.
Yeah.
Another costume. I
Absolutely.
put on. Yeah.
Nice.
So that's me.
I can smell the pumpkin.
Yeah. I'm ready.
I'm like not sure if I'm getting deep enough on here.
I think I have.
You're going in.
You're in resistance on
That was like an arm workout. Anyways. So the first question that we have on here, all right? What brought you to art?
What brought me to art?
In any way, shape, or form, capacity?
I guess creative expression, just the need to express myself, and it just manifested with movement and my body. I was like always a really creative kid, and my mother decided ballet. You know, a lot of little girls go and take ballet.
Yeah.
But I just was always putting on my own performances in the house.
Oh.
You know, like creating these scenes and costumes, and you know, even like drawing the tickets and.
I did that when I was a kid too.
Yeah. You know,
So cute.
the show's about to start. You all better be there.
Yeah.
I reserved you guys front row seats.
Literally, and it's like the same show over and over again.
Yeah.
For the most part, like my mom's like, "Oh, great, good job."
It was always me singing. Mine was reoccurring too. I was always singing that Snow White song. One day my prince will come.
Okay. Yeah.
It's funny and ironic.
That is. Yeah.
in a weird way. Yeah. in a queer way.
In a queer way.
But yeah, so I was just always wanting to make stuff and be seen. I loved being seen. I was always a little performer.
Yeah.
And yeah, art has just been creating now, and choreography is just become about
with your hand, maybe. Yeah.
expression. And how's it going for y'all?
It's going. Tasha.
Okay, never mind. That was not the correct way to do that. Anyways.
I'm so glad that the internet is watching us do this.
I know.
No, maybe don't do it this way.
Do not try this at home.
Art. Art has been just my whole life, basically, since I was 4. Just kind of been doing it. I haven't really been second guessing or thinking about not doing it. It's just doing the art thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then when would you say it, because you went to school for dance, right?
Yes.
So then when would you say that, like, you kind of focused in on that and decided, I want to do this? And, like, what was that decision for you?
Honestly, that decision I had made well before I came to School of the Arts.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided I was going to be a dancer, like, kind of right then and there. I was a 4-year-old saying, I'm going to be a ballerina.
Yeah.
You know,
You always knew.
Yeah.
I will be dancing in New York City and,
Aw.
listening across stages all over the world. I mean, I really just kind of thought that from the beginning. There's no doubt in my mind, which was kind of interesting. I never wavered. I wasn't like, I'm going to be a scientist, or it was just, I want to be a dancer. So
I want to be a scientist.
yeah.
That's amazing.
Or what do kids say, like astronaut, president.
Yeah.
almost.
Firefighter.
Yeah. Oh, is that one of yours?
I feel like in kindergarten, I feel like that's what I said. I was saying I want to be a firefighter.
That's
I feel like it's just a basic thing. But listen, lady firefighters?
Sexy.
Pretty cool.
When I was a kid, I used to say that I wanted to be a director for scary movies, specifically. And I think it's so interesting that I said that as a child, and here I am.
Scary movies specifically.
Specifically scary movies. I don't know what that was.
Do you like scary movies?
I love scary movies, yeah. So then, our next question that we ask people on this podcast, and I think it's interesting, the responses that we get from this question, because I feel like there's so many artists in the world that do so many different things. So what do you consider to be your, like, chosen craft?
My chosen craft. I think it's kind of a mix between two things. Creating and choreographing is really kind of what drives me. I really like to direct and make based off of what I'm feeling, what I'm seeing. Less about me in the role of dancer, because I really was dancer artist for the longest time. Like I am on stage, somebody is telling me what to do. I'm gonna do it and execute it. Put a little bit of myself in there as well, because that's what you do when you're a dancer. I think mostly, unless someone is like, no, it has to be exactly this shape and done in this way. Yeah. Luckily,
I'm out.
You got the guts out.
Ooh.
Luckily, you're working with somebody who can let you have that, but you really are. I mean, it's a very different role. Yeah. So there's that. I feel like I'm really just like a maker. And then I think another part of the art is honestly, like with the teaching, working with kids, and the art of communicating with children. Yeah. Through teaching them dance.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I teach. I mean, that's kind of I'm always teaching. I'm always around children, and it's great. So I feel like there's like a reciprocated kind of communication about being human in a way.
Yeah.
I don't know, when it comes to teaching and like learning through the arts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of a craft in itself.
And there's also something I think different about like teaching children versus like choreographing, which is its own kind of teaching in a way. Like you're teaching something that you've like kind of decided how this is gonna go, and now you're like communicating that to a dancer.
It's just so darn funny working with kids too, because the things that they say, the things that their little minds create. When we're doing like composition or improvisation class with them. I mean, I was doing an exercise, a really simple exercise with my students. Some of my students.
You want to keep the top though.
It's got to go back on there. Yeah, close that.
So, well, Yeah.
Eventually.
You can eventually. So like you can cut off like the little slimies, and then like set the top aside. So you're gonna put it back on.
Oh.
Okay, one more.
Mine can just be open. No, I'm joking.
I mean, if you wanted to,
No.
it can.
Good.
So, one cool thing that one of my students said, we were doing this exercise. It's very simple, where you're in a circle, and it's an improv exercise where you create like a ditty or a theme for your little dance. So you're not just kind of willy-nilly dancing, you're sort of working with an idea. And I've had kids say things like, young kids, I've heard them say things like grief, and one thing was gravity, and one was galaxy, and expansiveness with galaxy. So their minds are beautiful, and
Galaxy.
I'm dancing the galaxy. I thought it was pretty cool.
Aww.
I'm struggling to get this thing out.
Yeah,
I pushed it down.
That's what I
thought
thought.
that would be the thing.
No,
We are fully stuck.
Okay, so the next question. It's a pretty big question.
Okay, big question.
What are your ambitions as an artist? And you don't have to know. That's the beauty of it, you know.
That's a good question. I guess, it's definitely not about my art being seen by others.
Yeah.
It's nice when that happens and when there's a platform for that, and I do like that. I like talking and discussing about it with people. But I think really, I don't really fully know the answer. But I think what I feel is that just to be involved in art my whole life, I really have the feeling that it's about connecting to myself and about connecting to others and sharing with others. And I don't know, a lot of it's about connecting to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like, I can be in a studio and I can be improvising, or I can make a solo for the sake of making a solo.
Yeah.
In that moment. And the art happened right then and there in the creative process and me dealing with myself or whatever. And it's not necessarily about, I have to perform this now, or I'm going to put this on a stage, or, it's just kind of making the art for the sake of making the art. Because I feel like I kind of have to, and it's a way of dealing with myself.
Yeah.
So I guess my ambition is to just hopefully always want to do that. Just go in that studio and make something just to make it, because I feel like I have to. It's a need.
Gotcha.
Also, we should roast these. I've never roasted pumpkin seeds.
I have not.
So good. But like maple syrup.
Yeah, this is super helpful. I want to share it with whoever needs it,
Okay.
because it's really like
I'm at that point.
Oh.
it really
I kind of just have a mound in here that I'm just ready to place.
Like, it really, whoever wants it,
It's
because
very satisfying for me to just claw.
I'll take
It was a
She-
game
She looks
changer.
like she's having fun over there.
it was a game changer for me. I got like most of it out and just a few scoops.
I low-key want to take my glove off, but
You think like really feel it?
the
You don't
glove
have
is
slimy
yeah.
hands. Which,
We'll have to break so you can wash your hands.
Yeah.
I'm like,
But we actually talked last week a little bit about we mentioned it because I was saying that the thing about dance in particular, I think, is that it's one of the art forms where you like genuinely have to use your body.
yes.
And I think that you should be using your body for like every form of art that you're using or that you're doing. But with dance, like you really are. It's like an expression and a way to work through things and like figure things out in a different way. And I think that like I use writing in a similar way. But there is like something to like you can be dancing for no one at all, and still accomplish quite a bit for yourself,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean by
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Like, and like there's something literally like what I said last week. Like there's something about moving your body that just feels good,
Yes.
know? Like
It feels good, like dancing for pleasure.
yeah.
Dancing because you want to, and I don't know, I think part of the whole, like something I've had to deal with as a dancer, growing up in spaces where you're always looking in the mirror.
Yeah.
You're always being
Oh, yeah.
told, to look a certain way, and so you're dealing with your ego a lot. There's just your own perception of yourself, sometimes through somebody else's eyes, which is unfortunate, because people are like their judgments are being imprinted on you, and you start having judgments about yourself that maybe you that didn't occur to you until somebody else said it. And there's a lot of that in dance.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think, going to that studio and being alone and making art for art's sake, and no, it doesn't have to be on the stage, and it's for me, and this process of me putting this together, and this feeling that I'm trying to get out through my movements, through my body. That's also, like, when I said I was dealing, it's like, I'm also dealing with my ego in a lot of ways, too. And there's been a big evolution of that over time, especially going from being ballet dancer to contemporary dancer.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool that you write. I struggle with writing. I have, like, journals and little things that I notate down, but do you write, like, poetry?
No, I write mostly plays and screenplays.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's kind of dialogue is like what makes the most sense to me.
Mm.
Oh, wow.
I wrote a little poetry in high school, but like it just never quite clicked for me, like how to make it make sense.
Poetry is an enigma. I love it. I love reading it.
I like reading it too, but I just I don't.
Yeah. My partner writes poetry, and it's
Yeah.
really cool to see what she comes up with.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get all stressed when I have to write something.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Like, it's just we have different strengths.
Yeah.
Or like Pumpkin, I get a little bit stressed doing this because I want it to be perfect.
Oh, mine is not going to be perfect at all, but that's okay.
I'm gonna get this scoop out.
This is so satisfying.
Are you having fun, Taja?
This is so nice to touch. I don't know what it is. This is a tactile thing
It
for me
feels
right
good.
now. Like, I'm
It
like,
smells good.
It does smell really good. I'm really glad that these pumpkins are like good on the inside because I was kind of scared they were gonna be gross on the inside. This was like the bottom of the barrel, you guys, at the store.
Yeah.
okay.
all
Oh,
they
that's
had
why. I
left.
was like,
Yeah.
why? I was like, I feel like pumpkins are always in good shape, but.
I went to a pumpkin patch for the first time in my adult life here recently.
Really?
And that was fun.
Where
Yeah.
was that?
There's one just outside of town, kind of off Stratford Road.
Oh, okay.
Can I name drop her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it's called Hawk's Pumpkin Patch. It's really cute.
Shout out Hawk's Pumpkin Patch.
Hawk's Pumpkin Patch. They come from up north, and they drive all their pumpkins down, and apparently they sell all of them. It was really sweet. It was a fun experience. Highly recommend.
Cool. I think that I'm at a place to like begin designing. I don't know what I want to do though.
I need to do a little more scraping. So the next question
This is the next question.
is how has your art influenced your mental health? Whatever it may be, dance, your art.
Yeah, it's a great question. I feel like it's influenced my mental health in both negative and positive ways.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. Because it can be frustrating when trying to make something, but there's been a lot of times in my life when I've had to make something and I have deadlines, right?
Yeah.
Like we all, sometimes as artists, we have our deadlines and we got a calendar staring at us, and sometimes the creative juices aren't always there at all times. I'm gonna grab this. And so I've gotten really frustrated. Oh, thank you. There you go. I've gotten frustrated at times when I feel like I can't really produce and that it's not there, and that causes me to have that whole like imposter syndrome sometimes every now and then. You know, it's like, should I be doing this? Like, is this really what I'm good at?
Mm-hmm.
Why is nothing coming to me? What do I do if I'm not a dancer? My whole identity is dancer, choreographer, art maker in that realm.
Yeah.
Which, that's all existential. It's like, what do I do? Who am I? What do I do with my life? So there's times where I felt like failure with that. But there's just ebbs and flows with everything. And so, sometimes the creativity or the feeling that you're like doing it the right way, or the spark in the art, sometimes it's there and sometimes it's not, and that's fine. And it comes and goes. So that has been like the negative impact, which is wrapped up in identity. Mm-hmm. And then positively, there's nothing better than being pissed off and going to a dance studio for me and improvising.
Yeah.
And raging out. Yeah. Raging out to some music and just letting my feelings come out through my movement. And I guess that's, I don't know, I hear a lot of people say that, but it's really like therapeutic. Mm-hmm. Dancing for yourself. Honestly, Rage Against the Machine is a great one. Mm-hmm. to throw on and dance to. So yeah, it's therapy. At times it's caused the need for therapy.
It's caused me to go to therapy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's fine.
Nice.
So the best question on this.
The best question.
The best question. Why Winston-Salem still? Like why?
What brought you here? Why are you still here?
So what brought me here was School of the Arts initially,
Mm-hmm.
to go to school. So I started as a ballet dancer when I was 13, turning 14.
Mm-hmm.
Did all of high school here, 2 years of college, and then I left and I moved to Europe to finish my degree, and I was dancing over in Europe for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
What initially brought me back was a relationship.
Yeah.
I was fostering a relationship that was rooted here,
Mm-hmm.
and determined that it was the right place to like grow that.
Yeah, yeah.
But also like coming back to Winston just felt like home, because there's something about, particularly School of the Arts, there's a really big sense of family, and there's a lot of pickles that stay. Pickles.
I love that you guys are called that.
If you don't know, yeah, the
Because-
mascot is the Fighting Pickles.
Oh yeah.
But a lot of people stay here after graduation, and I've always had a feeling that there's a lot of opportunity here for artists, even though, because it's not fully saturated here like it is in New York City.
Yeah.
Where everybody's already doing the thing 10 times over in 10 different ways. There's a lot of openness and opportunity here. But then within that too, I sometimes feel like things just like don't happen here.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of people like sitting around, a lot of dancers who don't have the performance to showcase their work. Like we don't have a female choreographer showcase here in Winston.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
I wish we did.
Mm-hmm.
I am not really a go-getter with planning and production like you guys. I'm more of like the maker and the art side of thing, not the gathering together.
Yeah.
So I'd love to be a part of that. I just want somebody else to.
You like someone else to
Someone else to
handle
put
that.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've just stayed here because the community's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I had a whole conversation with, if you're listening, hi Melissa. She was a DLA teacher of mine. It's one of those things where, because of school and because of like DLA,
What does that mean?
Design Light, or
it's liberal arts. I don't know what the D stands for.
okay.
It's like the regular classes you take at the School of the Arts that are required. Liberal arts. I don't know what the D stands for.
Design drama.
Determined. I don't know, but she taught this woman's playwright class, and all the plays that we read, analyzed were by women. But she still lives here. She goes by Catchville Morrison. She is in a band with her husband, I think, and 2 other people. She has black hair. She has like a white streak in it. Just one.
Did they play
That sounds like a very familiar look.
at the collab last week?
I think so.
Yeah,
Did they?
I think
They did. Oh, that's crazy.
Shout out.
Shout out to Catchville Morrison. But I had a whole meeting with her. She remembered me, which is crazy. Because a lot of teachers don't. A lot of teachers don't
You're so
remember me.
memorable.
I just didn't like interact in class. I didn't really participate, and I don't look as crazy as I do now. So I was just kind of.
That's true. You did kind of like, I feel like,
Before I was just like.
step out. Yeah, you blossomed.
Yeah.
Bloomed post grad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of
I
course.
feel like I did too.
But she was talking about needing that community, needing that space, like for a safe space for women to experiment and like do a whole bunch of things. And in my brain, I was like, anybody, if you're watching this, want to give me money to get a space? Because that's really the issue here. Like, there's no space to do it, but I'm not like swimming in money.
I'm talking to you.
So I can't do it, but I would love to do it here in Winston. Like, I'm talking just like
This
dance
is the team.
studios and gallery space and exhibition space, and like you just like it's like a coffee shop. Like you go in and you just do whatever you want, and you don't have to pay for it. Like you just
They have this in Greensboro. It's the Community Arts Center.
Yeah.
Where the dance project is, and that's a great space. There's something in Charlotte called Goodyear Arts, which is also similar in the North Camp End area. I think I'm saying that right. Camp North End.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I agree. I wish we had that here.
Yeah.
Yeah, a space for also like open community dance classes. I can't tell you how many times people have asked me to start leading dance classes for the average Winston-Salem
Yes.
woman who wants to dance and learn dance, and they don't have to sign up to be a student at School of the Arts or Golden Week, or, you know, there's really all the spaces that we have for dance in particular are very exclusive. So it would be cool to have more of a community space to do those things and put shows on and collaborate with other types and mediums of artists. For sure. I wish for that.
We were talking about the need for adult dance classes. I wish there was an adult
because
dance class.
there aren't many. But my specific thing that I'm trying to look for is for adult hip hop classes.
Yeah.
That's exactly like what I want, but that does not exist
That would be so
except all the way in Durham.
I also would like to take that adult hip hop class with you.
Yeah. Yes.
Figure it out. Just, can it please be beginner?
You're like, can it please be beginner?
The two mediums of dance that I just am. Well, there's.
No, it has to be advanced. No, I'm joking.
Oh my gosh.
Advanced.
No, I'm joking.
Hip hop and tap. Two things that I have
love tap.
never taken. Did you take tap?
Yeah. Well, I did, because I grew up taking dance classes, and tap was the only one, or not the only one, but that was the one that I like really, really fell in love with. And the studio that I went to, they went to competitions and all that stuff, and the only competitions I ever wanted to go to were tap ones. So I did like all the other dance classes that were like the for fun levels, and then I did like advanced tap, so recreational, so I could go to competitions because I loved tapping. That was always
it's very performative and exuberant.
So fun. Well, I'm a musical theater kid, so it was like,
oh my gosh, they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Skip down the road.
and it helped like
they really do.
Going to college for theater, because there was a lot of overlap in like the tap technique that I learned when it came to being in like shows.
And did you go to UNCG?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I did.
They have beautiful dance studios.
They do.
Oh man.
Yeah, I had a great time in college because I had the experience of like, I was in a dance adjacent program, but I wasn't in the dance program. So I could take a bunch of dance classes, but I wasn't like faced with the pressure. Yeah, so I wasn't like the dance faculty knew me, but they didn't like expect me to like be growing in a certain way or like doing anything like. So I got to like take classes for fun, you know, just like how I've always wanted to do dance, anyways.
That's how it should be.
But there were some really, really great, particularly dance graduate students there while I was there.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, I think it's pretty interesting that UNCG has that grad program and School of the Arts doesn't in the dance thing, because they have all the resources and facilities to do it.
Yeah.
I took some really, really shout out Caitlin. I don't remember your last name.
Schrader,
thank you.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes.
Yeah, she's great.
She's dope. I literally still do some of the technique that we learned in that class to this day on my living room floor.
She teaches.
Just to help my body feel good, like not even to dance. It's just like, oh,
yeah,
good.
the pleasure and the feeling of it.
Yeah.
I still don't know what I want to carve, y'all.
Just let the pumpkin tell you.
Yeah, I'm just like drawing, and I'm just gonna hope that I can do this and it looks great, and if not, then
Well, each medium to their own. Like when it comes to, I can execute arts and crafts projects. I just get a little bit psycho about doing it. Doing it just right. And I'm not very creative, like pen to paper, winging it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which you guys seem like you are. Let me look at
See, I and we've talked about this before, like I don't think that I ever would have been confident in like just doing something until we started doing the right brain med stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like that made me a better visual artist, and I'm not a visual artist. Like I don't consider myself to be like a painter or a drawer. Those have always been things that I've just done for the fun of doing them, and like never been good at them, and also never really cared about being good at them. But I do think that I have gotten better at them.
Yeah.
Which is really fun.
I mean, practice can just creative practice.
Well, and what's so great about like that kind of stuff is, like I said, like I don't have any expectation for myself to like be good at it. Like I genuinely don't care if I'm good at it or not. And because of that, I can just kind of go for it, and then it ends up working out really in cool ways. And I'm like, oh,
you're down for the mess and the slop.
Yeah.
See, and I think that there's a lot to say about being a ballet dancer, being trained as a ballet dancer for most of my entire life.
Yeah.
There's this perfectionism thing.
Yeah.
It's really hard to let go of. Mm-hmm. And it trickles into so many different factions of my life. And the say yes thing, the ballet culture, because it's yes culture. Your director tells you to do something crazy with your body, you say yes.
Yeah.
And you can't really protest.
Or advocate for yourself, really.
Toxic. I mean,
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
I mean, it's been a while since I've been on the forefront of it, but I don't know. Hopefully it's changed, but it just seems like, somebody tells you what to do and you say yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's like a huge, part of, I feel like, a lot of traditional views of art, like theater and film and like all of that is like, you are a vehicle for someone else's like creative thoughts. And so you don't really have a choice. You have to, like, if you agree to something, to a job, you're agreeing to everything that goes along with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I feel like doing, I was a ballet dancer up until I was 18, and then I switched to contemporary dance, and there's a lot more space in that.
Yeah. Well, because contemporary dance, I feel like, and I don't know the history as well as you do, I'm sure, but it came around with the idea that, like, dance can be restorative, right? And it can be like something more than just a performance of like technique.
Yeah.
But there is technique to contemporary dance.
I think, absolutely. Because contemporary is rooted in all the forms, I guess. It's like ballet, we could say, is like the beginning form for all dance.
Right.
And I think Isadora Duncan was the first one to say, hey, I want to move in this free expressive way and it not be ballet. So she was kind of the mother of modern dance, I guess, and then contemporary came through that much later.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's there's more space in contemporary.
Yeah. So what type of dance is your favorite or your preference? Your go-to?
My go-to to view, or for me to do make?
I guess both. So the viewing, that's a good question. That's a good.
I should think about it for a second.
Yeah.
Well, I love watching ballet.
Yeah.
Because I know how hard it is.
Yeah.
And the whole thing with ballet is it's this effortless, graceful, light as air.
Yeah, it looks so effortless.
It looks so easy, but it is not easy.
One of the hardest things you can do with your body is like
It is amazingly hard. And you're on these point shoes and ankles aren't really supposed to do that.
Yeah.
But bodies are amazing. So I love watching ballet. Not even really for the choreography of it all, but just because of the technicians that are doing it and are on the stage and all the practice and the hard work and ballet. I do think that contemporary dance, which I think the context of contemporary dance, the material that's on stage is usually more interesting and engaging, I think, and also something easier for audiences to generally relate to. But I think that contemporary dance in certain forms in that realm are things that you can kind of put away as a dancer, as a performer, and then pick back up.
Yeah.
Whereas, like for me, I can go a couple weeks without dancing and then kind of get my body sort of back in shape by way of the yogas and sort of kind of do it again. Whereas ballet, you can't do that.
Yeah, it's once you've stopped, it takes like a lot of training to get back to it.
You got to be a well-oiled, fine-tuned machine to do ballet. I mean, oiled like your joints. You got to keep those joints.
Or
moving.
the Tin Man.
Right. Exactly. So it's so hard, and it's really impressive to watch because it's a use it or lose it thing.
Yeah.
You can't put it down even for like a week or 2 weeks. I mean, you'll hear ballet dancers talk about going on break for a week and how hard it is to get
back into it.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think contemporary, the context and the actual material is a little bit more interesting for me to make and also to view because I think it's really relatable. It's more organic.
Yeah.
It's more, we're all human kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to make sort of like a lantern, a 360 all around.
Oh.
Kind of, you know, like those metal tin lanterns that are
360.
Yeah, all the way around.
Wow. playing with the technique of like just carving like some of it off so that like,
Oh.
you know what I mean? Like just doing a little bit. But I don't know how best to do that with any of these tools.
You look like a regular marble sculptor. I saw the way you were like chiseling it.
I am Michelangelo, actually.
Yes, my medium is pumpkin. Gourds. We're so silly as Americans. We just carve these and we don't eat pumpkin like throughout the year normally. I mean, this pumpkin is a gourd, it's a squash. I mean, you could eat it all the time. And they're really popular in places like New Zealand and Australia.
Wait, but is it like always in season? Pumpkins?
I guess it's like one of those things like how we can still eat strawberries here even when they're not in season. Because we're getting
you can
them
just get them somewhere else.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like most people eat that way. You know, we shouldn't be eating pineapples here at all, probably, because they don't really grow here.
Mm-hmm.
I guess
They're so
do they
good.
grow in? They're so good. Do they grow in Florida?
I don't know.
I want to say yes, but
I have no idea. I don't know anything about plants. Well, that's just kind of like an interesting segue into something that I'm just kind of curious about. So what got you into like farming?
Yeah. So, I guess it was just a project that a few of us in town were picking up and starting as volunteers. So when Cranky's Coffee many years ago decided to start making food and having a kitchen, they wanted to do a farm to table method, which didn't ultimately work really just because of hands on deck and consistency.
Yeah.
But so there was a plot and there was space, and my friends and my partner at the time was there and was doing it, so I just kind of wanted to hang and be around and be doing what everybody else was doing and learn, and over time became more passionate about gardening and flowers and plants. So it really just started because a lot of my friends were doing it, and then there was a pivotal moment where it was like choice to stop doing it and just or take it on in a new direction.
Or do it, yeah.
Or do it, yeah. Do it or not do it.
What is the level of farming that you do now, you would say? Like, I mean, 'cause that's pretty big.
Well, interestingly enough, I'm not really doing a farm right now.
Okay.
Because I had to take a break.
Yeah.
Because it's so much work.
And it's also like winter too.
Yeah.
It's winter. It's dormant time. It's incredibly physical. I mean, I've burned myself out throughout many summers of teaching, dancing, performing, farming, lugging. You know, you got to be able to lug 60 pounds around a field multiple times a day under the heat. I mean, Taja, you've got to volunteer.
Yeah.
It's hot.
Picking the weeds.
It's hot. It's hard. I got back problems.
Yeah.
I love it. It's just I have been doing it for, I guess, 6 years. So I needed a little break.
Yeah.
But the level of farming that I was doing even this past summer was growing what we called it like a chef's garden, because seasonal things.
Yeah.
And delivering to restaurants here in town in Winston-Salem.
Yes. That's so cool.
And hosting farm dinner parties out there. Jordan Rainbolt from Native Root, I think I'm saying her last name right. She does a lot of dinners out there.
Oh, I saw those. I was like, oh, that looks so.
Yeah, her last menu looked so great. And she uses a lot of produce from the garden. Although I haven't been able to eat a lot of her recent meals because they often have a lot of meat on them, in them. And I'm not a meat eater.
Go veggie life.
Veggie life, you too. That's right. You're not vegan, are you?
I'm vegetarian.
Vegetarian.
Yeah, I just love eggs so much.
Oh, eggs are good.
You're like,
Eggs are good.
And cheese.
Cheese. Burrata.
Burrata.
You had burrata cheese.
The restaurant I used to work at Greensboro, we would, one of our like seasonal things was a burrata cheese. That like we used burrata cheese in a pasta dish, but also in one of our like tapas. Super yummy.
I can't live without it.
So would you consider gardening to be an art?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's an art. It's a labor of love. It's humbling. Got very little ego involved in that art form. Because, you know, it's not about you. The weather makes the decisions, or the pests do. You can do to try to control that. But ultimately,
at the end of the day,
Earth's gonna do what Earth's gonna do.
Yeah.
So it's humbling. And there is a lot of design, I guess, elements of that, like designing flower beds and, you know, cultivating something with care and love definitely determines a better outcome.
Yeah.
You know, with what I just said about nature and Earth doing what Earth wants to do involved with that as well. I mean, that always is going to happen. But yeah, I loved designing my flower beds.
Ooh.
And putting together bouquets, which is
Ooh.
probably one of my favorite things.
Oh,
To do
cool.
out there.
Yeah.
I want to take an official class and workshop.
Yeah.
Yeah, bouquet design.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of winged it all the time and feel like I have a decent eye when it comes to that, but I'm sure there's more I can learn.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So any tips for bad gardeners who have houseplants? That's me.
That's me.
I'm talking about myself.
Hmm.
Which I have had the most successful run in houseplants in my whole life this past couple years. I used to just kill everything, and I have a good steady group of houseplants that I've had for a couple years now, and I'm like, yes.
All right.
I don't know what any of them are. I was just about to say I literally don't. There's a couple succulents. I have an aloe plant. What are those ones that have the vines that grow really long?
Probably some variety of pothos. Pathos, I think you can say 2 different ways. They have the teardroppy looking leaves.
Mhm.
They can grow really, really long.
Yeah.
And they're usually pretty. Those are, okay, my advice would be get plants that are easier to take care of. Because
They're hard to take care of.
Pothos are easy.
Oh, they're easy.
But get houseplants that are happy to deal with low levels of lighting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a person that can forget to water them 1 week and they're not going to go haywire. Like a maiden hair fern, which are beautiful. I love them.
What is that?
It's this gorgeous fern with these flat, kind of duck feet shaped petals.
Ooh.
They're really pretty. They're impossible to keep alive.
I had someone steal a plant off my
Impossible.
porch one time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Rude.
I was so upset. It was a really, really, really pretty plant, and it was doing so well, and it was one that I my roommate and I went to Lowe's, and we went to the discount section, so it was almost dead when we first got it, and we brought it back to life. It was doing so good, and then someone stole it off of my porch.
You know what?
Because I thought that it had just fallen off my porch.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't find it anywhere. I was someone saw this beautiful plant and just took it.
Yeah.
And I hope that they're taking good care of
I
it.
hope they are too. Don't overwater. People overwater.
I think that was my issue to be originally when I was killing all of my plants was overwatering.
Overwatering happens a lot. Also, just a lot of plants generally lots of sunlight, but not direct sunlight.
Mm-hmm.
Humidity, which a lot of apartments don't have.
Yeah.
They don't like dry heat or dry air conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
Plants don't like that. So a lot of times your environment is gonna, mess up your plant, make them not happy. So moist, hot air is usually and then bright light. And so there's a lot of plants, if you don't have at least 2 out of 3 of those elements, they just not gonna do their thing.
Wow.
But then you have plants like pothos, the vining one,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have ficus trees that can be sitting in the middle of an office with no windows, like in the room that we're in now,
And just be fine.
and probably be fine. Yeah,
That's crazy.
because they're absorbing light even from the lamps. Doesn't necessarily.
Artificial light.
Yeah.
Weird. How do they do that?
Well, you have grow houses where people just use lamps,
That's true.
like grow lights.
That's
They have
true.
different UV or I don't know, certain types of bulbage.
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 Yes.
That's a weird one.
This is
Wattage? I don't know. Okay, now I'm getting
Wattage?
out of the realm of what I know what I'm talking about, so I'm just gonna
Wattage?
Light stuff.
Lights.
All right, so this segues into my topic, which is so great because you
Yay.
guys have already kind of touched on it anyways.
Cool.
But how does dance affect mental health? Which is segue into another thing of exercise. It's very important to your body. What's funny in the article that I read is that the lady was like in this little blog thing, she was like, people think exercise, oh, I just need to get my body right, or I need to tone my body. But she's like, but nobody thinks of I need to get my brain right, so I'm going to go to the gym. Like nobody thinks about working out their brain, which, if you exercise it enough, can increase your brain size, if you were wondering.
What?
Whoa, big brain.
There's a little layer in the hippocampus, I think, that becomes, like, expands because there's more oxygen and more blood flow happening, which helps with memory.
Whoa.
If you exercise more, it helps with memory. Remember last time when I was talking about how listening to different types of music is a way to work out your brain to help with memory?
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys seen that lovely video of the very old woman she used to be a ballet dancer, and she's recalling music from Swan Lake. I just whacked that, sorry.
Is it?
I haven't seen that.
But she's an Alzheimer's patient, and they put the music of Swan Lake on, and she starts going through the choreography. She remembers it.
Aww. Yeah, music is so powerful.
There's music, and then she's like doing the arms, and she's like got this dramatic face, and she's it's so beautiful.
Oh my.
So yeah, I mean, it's just going right along with what you're saying.
Yeah. So exercise improves cognitive functioning, mental health, and memory. It also hinders the development of certain neurological conditions, but that's not like a super well, what's it called? Experiment? No.
Like studied.
There we go.
maybe, or
There, study. I was like, what's that word? So some of the benefits of exercising are decreased stress, decreased social anxiety, improved processing of emotions, prevention of neurological conditions, euphoria, short term. Oh my
Oh
god.
darn it! If only I could just say forever.
Not forever.
That also would be actually probably horrible.
Yeah.
Right?
Increased energy, focus and attention, hindrance to the aging process, improved memory, improved blood circulation, and decreased brain fog. I feel like these are just like, I don't want to say these are like well-known things, but I feel like definitely like in therapy, or like my mom has told me, like, maybe you just need to go to the gym, maybe you just need to do this, maybe you need to do that.
Yeah.
I'm like
moving
I
your
don't
body,
want to. Like I'm like,
is
I
so
don't want
powerful.
to go to the gym.
Yeah.
And I go and I'm like,
Always happy you did.
And then you feel good,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I can do anything. And it's like,
The
all right.
endorphins. I mean, your hormones.
Endorphins make you happy, and happy people don't just kill their husbands.
Oh my gosh! Thank you for that.
Anyways.
Elle Woods.
Elle Woods.
Legally Blonde
Legally
reference.
Blonde.
I skimmed an article that was like, I didn't read the art. Okay, I didn't really read it. I skimmed and I read the headline, but it
Yeah.
was like, was Elle Woods autistic or something?
Oh,
And
interesting.
it was like a whole article about how she was on the spectrum or something. And
Very interesting.
yeah, I didn't read it. I probably should have. I'm just bringing that up because now I'm thinking about her character and her positivity and.
Yeah, she was like, I think Elle Woods is a great feminist icon, to be honest.
She's
Like,
wonderful.
yes, she like originally has the intentions of like doing this thing because she wants to get a man, but then she like becomes a badass lawyer and is like, never mind, actually, you're an
I'm
idiot
good.
and I don't need you.
I need me.
Yeah,
And my
exactly.
little dog.
And I think that that's just like such a great journey, and I appreciate that as a young woman in the world, that is a film that I was raised watching.
And also that was like before Me Too, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And there was all those things going on in that movie.
Big time, yeah. She
Precursor.
literally gets harassed by her professor.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And doesn't stand for it.
And doesn't stand for it. But anyways, Tasha,
Exercise.
we
Oh,
got
sorry,
way off
sorry,
track.
sorry.
I'm sorry.
And so, with that, there's a whole thing about cognitive function, right? And how it's how your brain works, and memory, and recall. And it's not that they get better or worse over time, it's that they alter. So, information processing peaks around the age of 18 and 19.
Damn.
Okay, short-term memory peaks around 25,
Damn.
and declines around 35.
Okay.
So-
Edging towards 35. I'm getting there.
Visual short-term memory peaks in the early 30s.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
The ability to read another person's emotion peaks around the 40s and 50s.
Interesting.
Wait, the ability to what?
to read
Read
another
people's
person's.
emotions.
Peaks at 40.
And 50.
You just get better and better at it.
That's
Yeah.
so interesting.
And then vocabulary peaks in the late 60s and early 70s.
There's like condensation forming on the inside of my pumpkin.
Is it
It's
sweating?
really interesting.
Why is it sweating?
I don't. It's guess it's a little warm in here. I don't know. Anyways, I'm sorry.
I'm like, why is
Mine
it
is
sweating?
Mine. I still have a lot of slime and goop though, so
Yeah,
we're
I'm
not
trying
fully
to-
we're not fully
I was
exposed.
like, there's
Trying
still
to-
so much in
I'm
there.
trying to scoop out the goop.
I'm trying.
Keep going. I'm so sorry.
Oh no,
for
you're good.
interrupting.
Listen, this is the beauty of conversation. You know? But anxiety is harmful to the brain, obviously.
Yes.
Evidence exists that individuals who experience anxiety are 48% more likely to develop dementia.
Terrifying. That's
yes.
a terrifying thing that you just said to me.
I know. This is due to cortisol, the stress hormone, which damages parts of the brain involved in memory and complex thinking. So, which is really terrible, and it makes a lot of sense because I have terrible memory. I also have very terrible anxieties.
I know.
So it's just like things don't stick. They kind of just sit there and they.
That is
And I'm
interesting
like,
though, because you think about like the when people say that like traumatic events like make you have like memory loss.
Mhm.
Like that makes sense if like the stress hormone is like related to memory loss. Then
Yes. Then trauma.
yeah. Anyways,
But your like body can sometimes, right, go back right there to where that trauma was. Like whatever your body was feeling
right.
in that traumatic moment. You might not recall exactly like
But
in your
you
memory.
feel
but
the
you
like
feel it.
fear and the
And my heart rate is up just as much as it was when that truck was barreling towards my car. And
Yeah.
I'm sweating and I have that same panic and anxiety level.
Yeah.
Physically, it's happening in my body. Just
But I'm like, I don't
again,
know.
I'm sorry, it's going to be a bumpy,
it's okay.
It's okay.
a bumpy audio.
I'm like,
It's
we've
okay.
been carving these.
Yeah, it's always a little fun.
Yeah.
So,
But if you have anxiety, exercise is a way to cope. You don't take
Absolutely.
medication or anything like that. But also, every 1.5 to 2 hours, the brain goes through stages of performance and productivity. In the first stage, cognition can work at a remarkable pace thanks to the release of sodium and potassium ions that regenerate the brain's electrical signals. But if you continue to work on the same tasks like that, they will experience decreased focus, low productivity. So every 1.5 to 2 hours, just take a break for 30 minutes. Just
Change
go
it
for
up.
a walk. Something that like
Yeah,
moves
that makes sense.
your body.
I've
And
been
then get
doing
back
walks
to
a
work.
lot here lately.
I love
Yeah.
walking.
Because, I mean, it's also fall and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful in Winston-Salem.
Like,
It's like, I gotta like look right at y'all. Come see the leaves here. But, yeah, no, I've been taking a lot of walks recently just for my mental health.
Yeah.
Mainly. I mean, I love to dance too, but like I said earlier, sometimes
Yeah.
don't make me feel better because I'm like in my ego and I'm like,
Right,
oh
and
gosh,
you're
this doesn't
thinking
look
about-
right or this step didn't work good or
I love a
No,
good walk.
worse.
That's like
Trees, ions, all the good
Trees.
things that you get. Vitamin D.
fresh air.
Vitamin D.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
sun. Oh, I love a
Mhm.
sunny day. Anyways,
Like, I love a good
I
sun.
do. I love the sun.
Does anybody else get like FOMO from like days that are beautiful and you're not outside for whatever reason? Maybe you're stuck inside.
Oh
'cause you're
yeah.
working
Oh yeah.
or-
If I'm at work and I'm like looking outside and it's gorgeous, I'm like, oh.
It is so
You're like, why am I
hard
out
to
there?
yeah. I have that so bad. Like have to finagle any way I can get outside.
Yeah. So the last thing is just that with that information about exercise, dance does the same thing to your body. But social dancing, as in like salsa or
Little line dancing.
two-step, you know?
Yeah.
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 That only, reduces stress, but it improves your body, it improves your stamina, it improves your energy, your confidence.
Oh.
And
You're like in your
improves.
community
Yeah,
and
you're
connecting
dancing, yeah.
on a deeper level.
Because I definitely feel like there's like this perfectionist standard everywhere. At least I have it, which is one of those things where I just have this fear of like dancing in public for some weird reason.
Being seen and judged.
Yes, and it's just one of those things where it's like I don't think I've ever danced and someone has been like,
Why are you
ew,
doing
yeah,
that?
ew, what are you
Yeah.
doing? But
It's all about how you
But it's
feel.
irrational. It's irrational.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think I had a conversation with Langston about how I've done competitive cheerleading for about like 8 to 10 years of my life, and so
Mhm.
I am used to doing a routine, but I don't understand the concept of dancing without
Without
routine.
that, yeah.
And so
Like improvisation, just winging it, just
like,
dancing
I don't know how to
from
wing it. If you give me a routine, I can do it, but but as a
intuitively, like listening and moving from just what your body wants to do.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just funny because Langston has the opposite. Like he did miming in church.
Miming
He
in
went to
church.
So like
I've just never heard.
I
That
know
was new for me.
in black churches they have I'm probably gonna butcher this because I don't go to church, but there's like I feel like every month or like every week there's one of the children that come up and they're like in a mime outfit, but they have like a song and they kind of like interpretive dance.
Oh, is it
to
like
the
liturgical
song.
dance?
Yeah.
I did liturgical dance when I was a kid.
So Langston knows how to do that, like easily like improv or like use the words to like make movements, but he's like, I don't know how to.
I'm gonna need a demonstration sometime. Now that you brought it up,
You're curious.
I'm weak.
Yeah, you know, I watch a lot of period films. I guess that's what they're technically called, right? Like, and now you know what's funny is that 90s films are considered period films. Yes.
Absolutely not.
Yes. But I watch all these movies where there's like, you know, ladies and gentlemen used to like just grow up and learn these dances like polka, and it was just part of your education.
Yeah.
Like you would show up at a ball or a party and it'd be like, oh, they're playing the polka. Like get in line, everybody.
And you know it.
And everybody just knows the dance.
Yeah.
And it just seems like so much fun. I see all like Pride and Prejudice, or there's so many other various things, and group dancing together, everybody all in on it, having fun, seems great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I want more of that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to implement that with the lab. So like for the dance party, I feel like I have like I have it. It came up in my when I was looking through my old TikToks that I have saved on my phone. There was this one that I saved, and I was like
dreaming about.
I was like, yes, I was, because I was like, oh, I should download it. No, let me watch these old ones. And it's these group of people, and they're doing this dance, and it's like 2 8 counts of a dance. I'm sitting here, and I'm like, this could easily just be taught to a group of people, and they could just do it for like one
That's
song.
so interesting how you mentioned TikTok dance in this conversation, because that is like kind of a form of like social dance that we do.
It
like,
is.
It is, but it's just like
throughout the
performative.
internet.
It's performative instead of like it's just being fun.
Sometimes
You know?
it's for fun though. Like I feel like there's a lot of people on TikTok that aren't dancers that just do the dance because it's fun.
They just want to. It's like a whale song almost. You know how whales? Oh no! I think I overcarved. This thing is going to fall through my little cat.
No.
Well, it's kind of sitting in there.
Yeah, it's this.
It's. Have you guys heard of the whale songs? It's like basically one big massive song that I guess one pod.
whale?
I think they're called pods. Little groups of whales. I think one pod starts the song, and then by the end of the season, the song has traveled through the entire ocean system, and then they all know the same song.
What?
Sometimes it's like 2 hours long. It's like a series of their like feeling like Dory right
That is
now.
the cutest
That's
thing.
great.
Isn't that cool? But it's like just this like pass along telephone, but it's like it works. It's not like they changed the song. It's like they.
It's not like when we do telephone.
Right,
Just
where we
make something.
because our short-term memory.
Really.
Work out, or we're just vindictive and want to change.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, for the fun of it,
But I
right?
feel like TikTok dance is kind of like that. It's this fun, like
this
pass
short-
along.
Yeah.
You know, somebody in Arkansas makes a 2 count of 8 dance, 16 count dance, and then somebody in Tibet is learning it. And
That's all
I don't know any TikTok dance. There's not.
I used to know that one
Not any.
a little bit
That's only because of Lizzo.
because of Lizzo's TikTok.
She's like, in a minute.
She's like, in
I'm
a
a
minute,
sentimental.
man or woman.
It's like, not man or woman. Man or woman.
Yeah.
It's like,
I need to go back and watch this.
Yeah.
There's so much I'm missing out on TikTok.
It's so good.
It's alright.
Oh,
Not being on
Ian,
TikTok.
You don't have to be on TikTok. It's okay. It's probably better for you.
For my mental health.
Yeah.
Right.
Probably.
But yeah, I just feel like if there was like a universal like 2 8 count dance that everybody knew, that would just like break the ice. Like when there's good music playing and everybody's just like,
And now we start.
and I'm like, okay, well everyone's
Okay, well, yeah,
Well, we got the cha-cha slide. Macarena.
Yeah, the Macarena. Yeah, that one
Macarena
is just.
kind of that.
It's just so easy. It goes
It's
with
so
every
great.
song.
It does.
It does.
I think I'm
Yeah.
done.
All right.
There's a lot I could add on this, but if I get started, it'll be a long.
Can we see? You want to reveal yours? Or you're still scooping?
I mean, I'm just scooping the inside, but
This is
I
mine.
need to make mine throw up.
Ooh.
I was inspired by the like discoloration on this side of him, and so I did kind of like a Phantom of the Opera mask moment. His grotesque side.
Grotesque.
What's his story? What happened?
He fell off of the pumpkin truck, and he's embarrassed by it, so he wears a mask. But he's a nice guy, I promise.
It's really beautiful. Well done.
Thank you.
I can't wait to see that lit up.
Yeah, I know. I didn't bring candles. I should have done that.
We'll have to like take pictures.
Yeah.
And,
We'll post some
You
pictures.
can't use real candles, right?
You can if you put it outside. I mean, because like the moisture,
It'll burn though.
the
right?
moisture of the
They
pumpkin,
get
I
all
think, keeps
gross
it.
and nasty no
Okay.
matter what. But I
Yeah.
think that if you use like a electric candle or whatever with the fake flame, those tend to
Does it
be
last a little better?
safer. Yeah, because I remember like pumpkins with the actual flame turn all black and weird on
Do
the
they?
inside, and then they
This is Bernie.
it's burning, it's burning,
Bernie.
it's fuming. And everything, once it's picked off the vine or pulled off the tree, starts gassing off
starts
and then
to
breaking
die.
down, decaying.
You said gassing.
Just they do. That's like why broccoli and brassicas smell bad.
Smells so gross.
Yeah, it's like it's the gases from the vegetable
Damn.
and by leaving the plant.
Yeah.
So yeah, so show us hers.
Yeah, do you have little heart eyes?
Has little heart eyes, a unibrow.
I was gonna ask if that was
Yeah,
your
yeah.
brow.
A little unibrow. I don't have a story about this one.
Is he in love?
Yeah.
Or is he
Yeah.
seeking
Yeah.
out? Seeking out
Maybe.
love, maybe?
Seeking love.
So seeking that on the apps, we should.
Yeah.
get
A little
them on
mating
apps.
call with the.
Aww. Sweet.
It's got hearts in its eyes
God.
for you because you created it.
Aw, yeah. Oh, cute.
Same face.
That is your face. You do, and you have heart eyes too, so it works.
Okay.
Mine's just a lantern, so it's just like
Let's sit
I love
there.
it.
360,
360.
360 around.
It's very
Alright.
satisfying.
I think it'll be pretty when the lights
When
come
it
on.
lights
It
up,
is.
yeah, it's gonna be really nice.
What I wanted to do is add like more like tinier slits down here,
Mhm.
but I think that would just take me a really long time. But I might do that. We might. Am I taking my pumpkin home?
Yes,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
absolutely.
Okay.
No,
Well,
we're
then-
keeping it.
It's like, oh, keep my pumpkin
No.
hostage. My pumpkin.
No,
I feel attached a little bit.
I'm gonna get a shot of my pumpkin vomiting into the. So I can pour out these guts.
Into this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Do you want me to move out of the way? Do you think you'll have a little better access to it? Or we can move this closer to you?
Adding the skeleton to the pumpkin. Let's change up his. Let's choreograph him in a different pose.
Okay. This is a hefty mound of innards. Okay.
Oh.
I love when people like set the pumpkins on their stoop and actually have the guts. Like they like design it coming down on the pumpkin's mouth.
Oh, this is great.
Ooh, yummy. Chunky.
I didn't mean to. You're like chunky.
Chunky.
Okay, that's enough.
Amazing. Yeah, so as we always do on this podcast, there's just a few little events that we wanted to highlight and showcase. I guess the first one, which I didn't even write down, I'll let Taja announce, which is our event.
Yeah.
Um,
The lab, which is an underground artist event, there would be a dancer, spoken word poet, a band, and a musician that will be performing. Starts at 7:30 in the Milton Roads Center of the Arts. I had to remember which way.
What day?
On November 7th, on
November
Monday. It's free. Keep that in mind. It's free. Free. Free.
Free.
I'll be there. I'll be your host. So you're gonna be
Your
talking
MC?
even more.
Otherwise, some other very fun, festive fall and winter events. Fun, festive fall. On Saturday, November 5th, which is my mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Mom. There is the Ardmore Art Walk from 11 a.m. to 4:30 p.m.
It's so great.
It's a community
It's so much
event
fun.
in the historic Ardmore neighborhood in Winston-Salem, presented once each year. This is a safe and socially distant art walk showcasing the work of our neighborhood's talented residents. And then the next day, Sunday, November 6th, is Holiday Angelo's Artisan Market, and that's happening at Wise Man Brewing from 12 to 5. And I was just thinking, you know, the holiday season's coming up. We probably have some gifts you want to buy. Why not buy them from some local artisans?
Good way to go.
It's going to be more unique anyways that way.
It is.
And then I also just wanted to kind of expand our realm a little bit into Kernersville because, we talk about the entire triad. And at Kernersville Brewing Company, every Tuesday night, starting at 7 p.m., they do a music bingo.
Ooh.
I thought that was something fun.
Music bingo is the time.
They also have lots of live performers. They do lots of food truck things. So that's just a cool little spot to hit up if you are in the area and you want to get out of Winston and do something else. Oh my goodness.
I'm having
my
too much fun
God.
now.
He is.
So those are the things, the
Nice.
events upcoming that I
Nice.
wanted to note. But as always, we continue to post a more comprehensive list on our social media.
It's Halloween. What
Yeah.
are you guys being for Halloween?
I actually dressed up today. That's
right.
I didn't even think about because I'm probably gonna post this on Halloween. I was thinking of posting a day early.
Gotcha.
Because since we're carving pumpkins. And so I dressed up. I'm Jennifer Connelly's character from Labyrinth.
Hey.
I think I did a pretty good job.
You did great.
Yeah.
I love the vest.
All right.
Thanks. Thank you, Goodwill. Anyways, that's
And you're gonna do this for Halloween. Do you do trick-or-treaters and all
I'm
that?
probably gonna work, so and I don't live in a place where there are trick-or-treaters. So
Yeah.
if I can dress up at work, yeah.
I do. I live in a
Okay,
place where there's trick-or-treaters, but my apartment is like it's a back entrance up a dark, creepy driveway.
So yeah.
So
the
no
kids-
trick-or-treaters come into.
Yeah.
But the neighborhood, Washington Park, is like, it gets all the school of the arts kids. So you get the crazy.
Oh, true. Yeah, that's fun.
It's fun. It's fun. I don't know what I'm gonna be figuring it out. Taja, do you?
I don't know. I mean, like I wore this.
Mm-hmm.
I think I posted on Instagram, and then like an orange top, and then this exact same skirt. And I was like, and I wore a wig.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know who I was going to be. I feel like this Halloween is just like experimentation, you know? Like what is it like that I want? And let's achieve it.
I love it.
That's
Because
great.
Nobody's gonna question.
Yeah.
So you're not trying to be a who or being somebody else. You're just I'm just gonna
It's just
achieve
a-
an aesthetic,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Halloween feeling,
Halloween feeling.
Halloween
I love
look.
that.
But
I
with
like
the
that
wig,
too.
my friend Kinsey was like, kind of like a new generation of Edna Mode from The Incredibles. I was like, oh.
Oh my
That's
god.
kinda fun.
What's funny is that I have a cape, so I could just put on the wig and then like.
And actually
have
done
the
it.
cake.
Yeah.
So it's like the bangs with the blunt kind of.
Nice.
She's
and
great.
Be the new generation that says yes to capes and not no.
Oh yeah, capes haven't really.
We're
taken
bringing
over.
capes back. No.
Were they here?
No, they're dangerous.
No, they are very.
They get
We're
caught on
bringing it back.
fire.
Thank you.
Get caught on.
Those were so
They get pulled
scary.
into
tires.
pulled into the
Tires.
engine of the
yeah.
airplane.
Ooh,
It's all scary.
those poor superheroes.
Anyways, thank you all for listening. Becca, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for
It
having
was
me.
a pleasure.
Thanks for letting me carve with you guys.
Yeah,
This was fun.
and we'll take some pictures of our pumpkins and post those as well, with candles in them. I guess if you want to send a picture. We would
Mine's only
appreciate
gonna
it.
look good like that. It doesn't look like.
It does
anything
look good like this. I think it's very, like I said, I think it's very aesthetically pleasing.
It is.
I was kind of going
It's
for
giving
like.
cantaloupe vibes, to be honest.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, look at these slices.
These
right
look
here.
like slices of cantaloupe.
I'm.
I was trying to go for like elven aesthetic,
Ooh, okay, yeah.
like
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
kind of.
I love that.
That would be the
Tolkien.
pumpkin they would have.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess.
Okay.
Bye, thanks. Goodbye.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.